Hello, everyone. The question that we are going to be tackling tonight is, how does language shape our thoughts? In other words, do the words that we use every day have any impact on the way that we think? And I think that the answer is definitely a resounding yes. And you can test this for yourself in the easiest ways possible. For example, if you can think of, I don't know, a positive word or a positive affirmation, or like your favorite quote from the Bible or from the Quran or from any book that you enjoy, and you repeat that in your mind over and over and over and over and over again for thousands of times, that is going to have an impact on your mood in the short term, but then in the way that you think in the long term. So if you take that word or that thought or that sentence and you repeat it endlessly on loop for a long enough period of time, it is ultimately going to influence the way that you think, the way that you see the world, the way that you see other people, and the way that you see yourself. And that's the power of language. And I think this is kind of an overlooked topic of conversation because we listen to, music with questionable lyrics all the time, and we don't even give it a second thought. Or we watch movies that have like a negative, are riddled with negativity and negative words, and we watch reels that are like not spreading a positive message, or like not using words that will help us become our best selves. And we take this content on and we listen to it, we memorize the lyrics, we sing it in the shower, we start talking this way, and then we start thinking this way, and before you know it, the way that you think has changed, and the way that you see yourself has changed. And that's just from the power of words and from the power of the language that we use. And so I think that we should really be extremely careful with the words that we say to ourselves. Our self-talk matters a lot, and it influences us a lot. For example, if anytime something goes wrong, or you make a mistake, or something doesn't go according to plan, you say to yourself, "Oh man, see, I knew I'm no good. I knew I'm not good. I knew that." And you just keep saying that to yourself 20 times a day over a period of 20 years. That's going to become your mantra. That's going to become the phrase that defines you and defines how you see yourself. And so we need to be very vigilant on our self-talk, first and foremost, and also on the words that we use when we're talking to other people. So our self-talk, the words that we use when we're talking to other people, and then the words that we listen to through the books that we read, the reels that we watch, the music that we sing along to, all of these things are going to influence us. And so I think this would be actually a good experiment for us to try if you're having doubt that if you're doubting that what I'm saying is true. You can try it out for yourself. I know that there was an experiment done. It's a pretty famous experiment where somebody took rice and put it into water and divided the rice into 3 different jars. And to one of the jars, he only said positive words to. The second jar he ignored, I believe, like ignored completely. And then the third jar he only said negative things to. And as you would expect, the jar that he only said positive words to did really well. Like it didn't mold, it didn't it didn't go moldy, it remained fresh. And then I think he looked at the water from that rice jar, like put a few droplets of water under a microscope, and the droplets of water had really interesting shapes. And and that's important because we are like 80% water. So if positive words can influence a jar of rice and water to that degree, it's definitely going to influence me and you, right? In terms of the other 2 jars, I believe that they both went moldy, even the one that he didn't say any negative words to. And I think that's just because ignoring people and like completely ignoring things is probably just as bad as talking negative things, saying negative words. And so this is something that we can replicate. I think it's been replicated, this experiment. It's been replicated, hundreds of times, thousands of times by different people. And they all got the same results. And so I think this is a very concrete example of how much language changes us and then changes our thoughts and how we see ourselves and how we see the world. So please, let's all speak kindly to ourselves, even when nobody's watching. The next time that you make a mistake, don't say horrible things to yourself. Just say, okay, I made a mistake. I'm still a child of God. I still deserve to be loved unconditionally, and moving forward, I'm gonna, pay a little bit more attention when I'm doing this task. But that doesn't mean that I'm a failure or that I'm a terrible, terrible person. It's just that I made a little mistake. And vice versa, if you want to start implementing positive self-talk or saying affirmations, I know that's big in the manifestation community, is affirming, saying positive things to yourself for hours on end. And I believe it could work if you stick to it long enough. Like any kind of positive word, positive phrase, like I said, like your favorite quote from your favorite scripture, your favorite, like anything that you see as positive, if you repeat that to yourself over and over and over again, it's obviously going to impact the way you think and how you act. and how you show up into the world. So thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.